speak about. I wanted to ask who would score the most goals in Spain this season. It's funny how
Spain.
football people,
that Barcelona.
football people constantly speak about fairy tales and subplots happening, and ultimately you have one of the biggest at the moment in Spain. A couple of years ago, you'd never thought that Lewandowski would make the move to Spain, right?
Barcelona.
And there's always this eternal argument, eternal conversation. Who's the best striker in the world, and we've done that.
You look to your left.
Yeah, see Marty. Shouts to Marty. When Wale was here, Wale would put the camera on Marty.
Exactly.
That's my executive producer. Stop time in the building. Marty, it's good to have you here. Hopefully you can have a save if you want to. We'll bring you on sometime. Yeah, of course. Great stuff. I wanted to ask, who scored the most goals between Benzema and Lewandowski in Spain?
Benzema.
And who's the best striker in Spain?
Benzema.
That's the best striker in Spain.
That's the
Benzema.
I think you would say Benzema because Lewandowski hasn't kicked the ball yet.
Yeah.
So.
Bet against Benzema at your own
I
peril.
think I would spin it and say bet against Lewandowski at your peril. I think Barcelona have given him all the tools for him to go on and score 40, 50 goals in the league.
Tool?
Because you've got Rafinha,
But Dembele will play.
you've got Dembele, you've got Ansu Fati if he stays fit, you've got Pedri, you've got Alba, you've got Gavi. I think he's going to score a lot of goals.
And maybe
Because
Frankie
I think
de Jong.
he is more, a step forward, more of a traditional centre forward. Benzema is not.
So
Now, there's places you would find Benzema that you will not find Lewandowski. Lewandowski, he's a poacher who will be around that box and he will look for everything.
But-
he feeds on scraps. He feeds on everything.
but that
he
could
will
also be a
score.
problem. That could also be a problem. The last time they had a striker like that, it didn't quite work out. He scored goals, but on the level of Barcelona, it didn't quite work out. It was Ibrahimovic,
Okay.
right? If you have a Lewandowski that doesn't like to
get
he wants to be in the
dirty,
box,
he wants to be in
and
the
we
box
have a
and score.
Xavi who. What is out there is that he wants to
everyone
bring
to be
back
involved.
the Barcelona style.
But
of
he's
play,
not
the
a slouch.
tiki-taka.
I mean, he's not a slouch.
No, I'm not saying he's a slouch.
He's not a slouch.
I tell you why.
He can pin the ball and
That
move it
question
around.
has been answered. I'll tell you why. Aubameyang is not as good a player as Lewandowski is.
Yeah.
And he scored goals last season.
Yeah.
He did, but he didn't score as many. I was actually
but
going to go. I was actually going to go to Aubameyang.
Did he double digits?
Yeah,
I
he
was
did.
No. I was actually going to go to
in all
Aubameyang.
competition.
In all competitions, he did.
He did,
Yeah,
but
he
we're
did
saying
double- yeah,
Lewandowski, Benzema. That's what we're saying,
Yeah.
right? So that's where I'm coming from. That if the fact that there are all these people that can create, could give the striker at Barcelona such an edge over Benzema, we should have seen something close to that with Aubameyang last season. And I don't think
Aubameyang is not as good as Lewandowski.
I know, bro. But it's you put the ball in the back of the net if you have the chance.
I don't get
And
it.
with what you said, all the resources to create lots of chances are there already. So how come are we saying Aubameyang can't score goals?
No,
First of all, the quality that Barcelona have this season is more than what they had last season.
Of
It
course.
is, yeah.
And also, Aubameyang is not as good a
But
player or as good a poacher
Yes,
as,
no, he's not.
as Lewandowski.
He's not.
He's not.
Definitely.
Right.
He's not.
Aubameyang, he has to be put out there. Aubameyang started his career as a winger.
As a winger.
He's a winger. That's why he likes to play on the left-hand side. Lewandowski started his career as a centre forward. He's been a centre forward all his life. That counts for something.
There are not many centre forwards as good as Lewandowski.
Let's
right?
see, let's
Come on,
see.
right?
Let's see how you go.
So I mean, I wanted to put out a stat. Only two players not called Messi or Ronaldo have scored 15 goals in Champions League campaign. The other players are Lewandowski and Karim Benzema. Right? Only two players have scored 40 plus goals in Europe's top flight competitions last season. Those two players now play in Spain.
Wow.
For Real Madrid and Barcelona. Right?
They are classical.
Of course, we all know.
We all nice again.
We all
He's
know.
looking
We all
nice
know
again.
that last year, Benzema had the year that any Ballon d'Or winner would be proud of having.
Of course.
Right? I think scored 40 plus goals last season as well. Lewandowski, of course, had that. I think Lewandowski
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So, I tell Premier League fans all the time, get out of the bubble sometimes and realize that some of the best players still
Don't
play.
play.
No, but
Some
just
players still don't play
Of course.
in
But
England.
just a quick comment on Lewandowski. Now that you mentioned two seasons ago, he
Yeah.
got 40 plus goals. Last season didn't get as many.
I think he got 35
He got
-ish.
35 or 36.
And
yeah.
and there was an issue that also came up with. He had an issue with Nagelsmann, where at some point he had to tell Nagelsmann, "Look, I'm the one that scored 40 goals last season. This your tactics.
Won't work for
So
me.
I'm trying to say, Lewandowski went with his 40 plus goals, 50 goals at some point because of how direct
He was.
Bayern Munich were. That was when Lewandowski scored the most goals.
Yeah.
So how Xavi?
I see where you are going.
So how Xavi decides to play, maybe
okay, might be a factor.
I tell you why. I tell you what. Lewandowski's had been top scorer in Bundesliga 7 times. Right? 7
I
times.
think the only player to break him was,
7 times.
was Alba.
And in that 7 times, he's had at least 5 managers or 4 managers.
Okay.
Right?
That's
So
a good
I
context.
don't
that might
worry.
not-
but
I don't
but
worry.
Bundesliga now.
I don't worry that I think that, for example, Cristiano, goal scorers are goal scorers. Doesn't
Yes.
matter who they play
Everywhere.
with. Doesn't matter who they
Any
play
league.
with. They
Go to
score
Italy,
goals.
score goals. Go to Spain,
score
score
goals.
They just know.
We can
how
say
to put
because
the ball
he
in
has
the net.
done it. That's why we can
But
say
Lewandowski
it.
had not done it
So-
anywhere else.
No, I don't think.
We'll see.
He has
We'll
done
see.
Champions League.
But I think
we'll see.
He has
But I
done
think he will
Champions
score.
That's what I'm
League.
saying. We'll see. I'm just saying
That's enough.
he scored his best. He scored his most goals with Bayern because of how direct they were.
But it was tough
Depending on how-
with Dortmund as well.
No, see, listen to what I'm saying. With Nagelsmann came in, wanted to have a little bit more control. Pass the ball around. They weren't as direct as they were
That's
when
why they were
Nagelsmann came
struggling.
in. You understand? And it was obvious they struggled, but he still scored 30, 35 goals anyway. Right? So I'm saying, like, if you go to Barcelona and Xavi decides to play the same way, it might be the same thing that would happen because he was
He still
scoring
score.
40, he was scoring 50. He will still score. It's not as if he's not going to score, but I'm saying he was
Maybe not
scoring
up to
40,
the
he was scoring
level.
50, he
Yeah.
was scoring. But the
Yeah.
problem was a new manager came in that wasn't as direct, so the number of goals dropped based on his standard.
We
Well,
shall see.
if 4 goals drop, I don't think that would be a problem. To be honest, if 4 goals drop
I mean,
from 40 to
from
36,
40 to
thereabouts,
36.
I think that nobody will bat an eyelid. Yeah. Yeah.
53.
I mean,
Having
if-
said that, who
if
scored the
Timo
most goals
gives you
in 2 of them?
26 goals, you'll be happy.
Timo cannot give 10 goals. He should get that.
Who scored the
I
most
think
goals?
Karim Benzema.
I still fancy Lewandowski. I think he will
think
score
Karim
more
Benzema.
goals. I think
think
Barcelona
Karim
as a team will score more goals.
I think Benzema, honestly.
I think
I
Benzema.
think Barcelona will score more
know-
goals.
you know-
The
because
team looks set
They've
to-
got goals in Rafinha. They've got goals in Lewandowski. They've got goals in Ousmane Dembele. They've got
The only
goals
person
in
I'm
Aubameyang.
scared
You
of.
calling Ousmane Dembele like
Exactly. That's the only person I'm scared of.
I
Double
can tell you
digits.
this,
And
I
he's
know I-
never
I
played a
say-
full
I-
season.
I know I say a lot of exaggerated stuff, but when he's
you
fit,
know.
But that's the point now.
Fit and
He's never
firing.
played a full.
fit and firing,
Even the young
there is
guy-
not
the
a
young
winger
guy,
better than Ousmane
Ansu Fati.
Dembele.
I agree.
even the
When
young guy
he's
is
fit
fat.
and firing, there is not a winger in the game. better
And that
than
goes
him.
without saying.
in
We
it.
agree.
I remember watching Dembele at Dortmund, and I tell you, I thought this guy's going to win the Ballon d'Or.
Do you understand?
I
That's
thought
how
so
good.
too.
That's how good he
thought
is.
so too.
I'm serious, and I say that with all the sense of understanding what winning Ballon d'Or is all about. I saw a story, so I mean it's been there for quite some time. Someone said, look, if this guy stayed fit,
Exactly.
talent for talent is better than Mbappe. I don't think it's heresy.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's heresy.
I don't think so.
Matter of fact, I think that technically, I think it's better than Mbappe.
Yeah, technically it's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
You get. So I look at him and I realize immediately the great saying, that talent is nothing. Do you get? And of course, fitness hasn't helped. But sometimes I see him as a bit of as someone who doesn't help himself as well.
Yeah,
he's not.
No, but I feel like if you the moment you discover that your body is not as maybe it's not at that level where you want it to be able to perform consistently, then a different set of conditioning comes in for you.
For you.
Okay.
Now you might not even be able to train to some level that
Yeah.
some other players would have to train to, because now they have to manage you.
I like you play football, Rufai. I always wonder, why do some players have more injuries than some players? Is it lifestyle? Is it what they eat? Is it how
No, I
they
think-
train?
I
Why
think-
do other
I think
players
there's-
have-
First thing,
I
I
think
think
there's-
the body.
Yeah, so
our
that's the
bodies
first
are
thing.
Different. That's
You
the first
play
thing.
football.
Yeah, I play football. I mean, I'm a goalkeeper for Harvesters International Brigada. So
When was this?
Put it
When
out
now?
there.
Let me answer now. When?
I mean, I have a picture of my phone that I can show you.
This one is not
Is there
IBK.
no year?
No,
Green medals.
we played last month against Harvesters Ikeja. So I was the goalkeeper for Harvesters.
Is it
Brigada.
big or small post? I don't.
Normal post.
Standard post.
Standard post.
You don't like
Standard post.
yourself, oh?
No. Standard post.
Stand up post. I make I play
was
you
the
3
scoreline?
penalties.
What was the scoreline?
We won 1-0.
Make
I
I-
kept
you
a
kept a
clean
clean
sheet.
sheet.
Make I play
Brilliant.
Yeah, I kept a
make I
clean
play
sheet.
you. Make I
had
make I
like-
play you 3 penalties. Standard post.
IBK, before the game, I told them that my name is Ika Casillas. No, I'm not tall. Ika Casillas is not the tallest of
But
goalkeepers.
your
But the
flexibility.
reflex.
But it's not short, you know.
That
Like-
Casillas
Yeah, it's
so
not
you
short.
say
But
it's
the
not tall.
reflex. But the reflex
Don't
is
say that thing.
is-
You don't get it's not
Look
short.
at Leverson. This is Leverson is short. Go and stand beside him.
It's not short.
But the reflex
It's
of
not short. It's just
Because
short.
he's short amongst
It's short amongst NBA stars.
NBA stars.
Nobody in NBA is short. Those people are just too tall.
Bro.
So I'm not
I think Kevin
IBK.
Garnett.
I'm not IBK. I have receipt to back whatever I'm
No,
saying.
I celebrate you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you know your life choices.
I just, because goalkeeper in a standard post, you know, me and you, me and you, we
they
don't far
sang
from each
my
other
name.
for height.
See, it's not.
Realize how I cannot understand how I go and put myself in the standard post as I'm a goalkeeper.
Hang one in the top corner.
when-
No chance for the goalie.
No chance.
Back to what we say. When you
That
understand
team
your
where you play
body.
against, they need to go and check their
Come
credentials.
on, come on.
I hope people are not playing the professional league. Bro, I am not kidding you.
How tall is Ikechukwu Ezenwa?
My brother,
At least he's taller than you.
let's start from there.
under a box, grounded by
Let's
a
start
law.
from there. First,
Let's get out of the way. Because, you're like,
you are treading on a very
No, it's
dangerous
dangerous
path.
call you're playing.
Very dangerous.
you know,
See this guy. If they get Jojo Shelby or Thiago Alcantara for today, they will just say no.
you're in trouble.
I
Owen
beg,
Rooney.
Make una don't attempt to score. Anytime we will just pass to this man, only this man, or just make sure you win free kick here, win free kick here, win
So
free
are you a
kick
ball
here.
playing?
Somebody go just stand, you put that for that side.
Are you a ball playing goalkeeper?
Yeah, I'm a ball playing goalkeeper. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To answer in your
I'm
bunks,
good. I'm good with my left foot. So.
Oh,
to answer in your bunks question, I think no, the first thing is genes.
Okay.
The first thing is genes. You can't. Sometimes you see the kind of football some players play, and you wonder, but how come this guy know they get injury?
Because I've seen injury ruin some really good players.
Exactly.
Really
So
good player.
I think
Abu
Really,
Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
I
So-
can never forget Abu
I think
Dhabi.
the first thing
Immediately he
is
got
James.
injured against Sunderland close to the end of the season. His first season as Arsenal. I just knew that this guy. Then he
You
came
know?
back. He got injured again.
Yeah, so I think the first thing is
that was
genes,
just it.
but also there are other factors. I think you are right. Also, like
Your lifestyle.
your lifestyle, how you train, because as you grow, as you age,
Alcohol.
has-
having excessive alcohol. Does it do something to your fitness?
I no be doctor.
Okay.
Of course, he will do something to your physics, but
I think it
can't
still boils
say,
down to the genes again.
I can't say with regards to
Because
MPFL
MPFL players, MPFL players drink more than, and I'm not going to mention it, but MPFL players drink.
But it's not just
I'm not a
MPFL
sportsman.
players. But it's not
But
just
I don't drink
MPFL.
like MPFL players.
But it's not just MPFL players.
what I
I don't think it's just MPFL players. I
What I-
think it's something with.
I think it's relative.
With
Of
footballers.
course, I have no expert insight on this, but I think all of it is relative to the level required from you,
Okay.
right? So, for example, MPFL players, I mean, they probably don't want to believe it, but the level is not so high,
Okay.
right?
Of course.
So the demand on your fitness
It's not high.
It's
might
not
not
that
be
high.
as
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
The tempo of the game intensity is not as high. Why the Premier League, teams play at such a high intensity is because of the facilities they are exposed to, and the demand is put on them because they know that they have the best, medical.
I remember a friend of mine who went
Yeah.
to Europe. He said he played a Europa League game. He came on in the 20 minutes. He used to play for Aqua. he came in a Europa League game. After 20 minutes, he was breathing so fast and he was so tired. And then one of his teammates ran to him and said, "Come on, now you're standing."
You're standing.
As in that in European football, that you don't stand one
don't
place.
stand.
You don't stand.
That's what I said.
If you lose guard,
I
your
told,
team go collect.
I told someone, I said, these professional teams, the warm-ups that they do before the actual game, if you do them, now make you just go house, go sleep. And for them, that's just the warm up. If they don't do it properly, there's a problem.
It's crazy because I think the fittest, athletes are sprinters.
Sprinters are really fit.
Because you do the semis before
Final.
before the final. I can't imagine running that fast.
But the long
But
distance races, they give them a lot more time.
Okay.
You can't do that.
I can't imagine
You can't do long distance races.
You
because-
can't do long
because-
distance race. Like if you do it in the morning and you have to do it again, it has to be in the evening.
What's the time difference? What's the time span between Toby's world record?
90 minutes actually.
90
It was
minutes.
90 minutes because I know the race
and I
was.
think that's a lot of
That's
time.
still that's not a lot of time.
That's a lot of time.
That's
Let
not
me
a lot
tell
of
you
time.
why.
That's not a lot of time.
That's not a lot of
90
time.
minutes.
That's not a lot of time,
Wait,
no.
calm down.
Rufai,
Calm
For
down.
Aldous.
Bro, calm down. Calm down.
You know
Let me
that
tell you.
after the race itself, they go into the mix zone. They are still preparing.
Let me tell you
They're
why.
still
Let me
running.
tell you why I
You know, they're still
think, bro.
doing-
Let me tell you. Let me tell
probably
you,
tested
bro.
also.
Bro, let me tell you why I think is a lot of time, because you said the fittest athlete. So I'm looking at it. You're probably talking about in comparison, to other athletes, maybe. Why I think it's a lot of time is, as the sprinters or the runners, I think what is required the most of you is your endurance.
Okay.
That's what is required the most of you.
No.
Wait now, calm down. Let me finish.
Wrap up
What
fast.
is required of you the most is your endurance, right? That's why the long distance races are won mostly by people from a particular region.
I'm speaking about sprinters.
Endurance
is not the most important thing in sprinting.
They're breaking that stereotype.
I know you're talking
breaking that stereotype now.
about sprinters. What I'm saying is we're running. What is required mostly of you is
In the
your
long
endurance.
distance, right?
In a long distance endurance.
No.
The sprint race.
I'm
Sorry,
saying
the
we're
sprint
running.
in the-
Calm down
okay.
now. I'm not saying you don't need every other thing. I'm saying but the most
Endurance,
that you
okay.
need
I get it.
is your endurance. How long you can run for and still be able to run at optimal level. That's what
for
number one thing.
marathoners.
And that's what you train for. No, even for sprinters. Then you train
Listen.
other things.
For sprinters,
Listen.
I will struggle to
For
understand.
100 meters,
sprinters.
for 100 meter
Meters and
run
200
sprinters,
meters is not-
your speed is probably the most important thing, because that race is going to be done in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly, but
Your
you
speed.
don't
It's your
understand.
speed, actually.
Listen. You said what is the difference in time between when you did your semis and when you did your finals?
Okay.
Do you understand? That's the context I'm coming from. Look,
this is the
most of the time, let me tell you, most of the time, even with bodybuilders, for example, right? The first thing that happens to bodybuilders is their genes. The first thing that happens to runners is their natural speed. I'm telling you, even with bodybuilders, your genes is the number one thing that determine how your body comes out, not how much work you do in the gym.
Okay.
That is an unnecessary
As
analogy.
a runner, the first thing that determines how good you are is the natural speed
There are times-
that you have. Then you now go and train on other things.
There
You
are
have the natural speed first.
There are types of
Usain
runners.
Bolt didn't train to
There
be
are
fast. He was fast first.
Yeah.
There are
Okay, I get it.
there are marathoners and there are sprinters.
Yes.
Sprinters are short distance racers, right?
No, I love
No,
this.
I didn't say that.
And I'm telling you that you cannot say that the most important attributes for a sprinter is endurance. No.
No, but I'm trying to explain why I'm
Don't
telling you
explain
that
it.
because you don't understand.
It doesn't work.
No, you don't understand.
Rufai,
Let me break
we're going
it. You
to
don't
stay on this thing
understand.
for a long
No,
time
no.
because
See,
it's hard to understand.
I am
for-
telling
for
you
short-
that
for
short
short
distance,
distance,
why endurance is
endurance
key.
should not be in that.
You
conversation.
said
For short distance.
you said
understand what you said. He said, what's the
Don't-
difference in time between your semis and your finals?
And he told you 90
That's
minutes,
the
and you said it's a lot of time.
I said it's a lot of time.
Love,
That's the
love,
context
love.
I'm coming from because like I said,
Have
with
you run
running,
athletics before?
with running, actually I have. With running, right?
Did you finish 6 or 7?
I didn't do it as a professional. A normal school, inter-house, and all those things.
Where did you
I did
finish?
relays. I did sprints.
Where did your team finish?
Bro, listen. Understand something. Here's what I mean, right?
Jumped.
Obviously, you are doing. Obviously, you are a sprinter, right? What determines whether you win is how fast you run.
Of course.
But understand what I'm saying. I'm telling you that I said it's a lot of time. The 90 minutes in between. I'm coming from the angle of, look, if you are training to be a sprinter, you are fast first before you go into training to be a sprinter.
Of course.
The training you then begin to do is to be a fast runner that can last.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Okay.
Fast runner that can last.
What you believe doesn't apply in this one.
And that's why I said 90 minutes is a lot of time, because as a runner, what the number one thing that you want to be in, that you want to have is, look, you're fast, but you want to be able to last. That, for me, that's the number one thing. You want to be able to last. For me, that's the number one thing.
I'm just telling you, we can never agree on this thing you just said.
Okay,
It's fine.
I think that's
fine.
I think that
You can get a fast runner and 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, you can't run again.
For a girl like Toby Amuson, you get to run.
That's what you have done all your life.
Record in the last hour and run faster.
Which is the endurance I'm talking about, bro.
Listen. No,
you need to be able to last.
His speed, she not run from here to Abuja.
No,
she ran on the same
you're
track.
not getting it.
She
You're not
beat
getting
her
it.
speed.
After 90 minutes, you have to go and run again, and still break a record.
But you said time was plenty.
You don't understand. Oh God,
Let's
how can you
move
not
on.
understand what I mean?
Let's move on.
Yeah, call it
Let's
my
move
VK.
on. As advocate.
Are you drunk? You don't drink anything. Are you the first time I leave her?
that mistake.
I leave her. You talk about me again. I mean, as I mean, is a spirit for
You
you.
don't put your Mogizo man get him.
Wait me now.
What if that one? What if that one?
If you are not a cop, you cannot understand.
You will understand it. Don't worry. Our Quibble fans will understand it. Don't worry. Moving on.
Oh my goodness.
All right, guys. I'm a man that needs no introduction on this show. It remains the Inside Podcast. When it comes to talking sport, when it comes to talking football all around the world, you get the best information from this particular podcast. You can always join us online, on YouTube, on IG, anywhere online. You can always join. Even on Clubhouse, we're there for you to dish you the best information when it comes to sports all around the world. Stay tuned always.
Cloud. Reach out.